Guys, we are back. We want to welcome you back to Formula for Speed. I'm one of your hosts, Chad, and I'm here with my other lovely co-host. Please introduce yourself.
Hello.
And this is the Babyface. Babyface,
yes.
Guys, we're in Texas this week. Austin.
Yes.
It was a good weekend for racing. I mean, this was a great race, guys. Great qualifying. First and foremost, let's get out the way. We want to shout out Max Verstappen and Red Bull for the win. Hamilton second, Perez third. Yeah. And I'm gonna start off by saying, guys, I do think before I get to the not so best news, Babyface, I don't like, but I do think you all would have had a better chance had Bottas not having to take that penalty.
Yeah.
But I think that's what's going to make the difference in the last 6 races. Because right now, Max is up by 13 points with this win. I will say, I think it's going to come down, and guys, let me know what you think in the comments. I think it comes down to the last 1 or 2 races, the championship. The only way that doesn't happen is, which I think will happen, Bottas plays a more pivotal role in the championship.
Mm-hmm.
I think, because to me, I wasn't, and guys, let me know if you're wrong, Babyface. Let me know if you agree or disagree. I wasn't surprised Max won this race because when I looked at the starting grid, I said, man, there's two Red Bulls, 1 Merc. The other Merc's, what, 9th place?
Mm-hmm.
Something like that. So I wasn't surprised. Lewis Hamilton made a great charge at the end. They didn't think any back markers would come into effect. I will say Max got to open up DRS, which gave him a 20-mile-an-hour advantage on the last lap, which helped him. To your point, Babyface, you don't think he would have caught him? Maybe he would, maybe he wouldn't have. But I do think Lewis made a great charge. Max was able to stay out front. So I wasn't surprised by the finish of the race, the podium. It was great racing. Babyface, I am sad.
Why?
Guys, you all know, my McLaren boys, I was hoping. Ferrari came with an upgrade, a race or 2 ago? Mm-hmm. Now Ferrari's back, guys. I mean, let me know what you think, guys, in the comments. Let me know what you think. This is not the Ferrari from last year. These dudes somehow found some pace. I mean, we couldn't come close to Leclerc. We couldn't, right? He finished 4th. Danny Rick finished 5th. Norris didn't get it going. He finished 8th. We couldn't get past Sainz. Bottas was 6th. But, guys, they bested us. And I don't think I'm worried. I am. And I told Babyface this. All my McLaren fans, let me know what you think in the comments. I'm worried because these guys got pace. And it's not going anywhere. Right? So, I don't know, guys. I think Babyface's team will be fine. Merck's going to be fine. If you're a Red Bull fan, you all will be fine. But you know, when it comes to the prize money at the end of the year, the payouts, we need to be the best of the rest. Right now, we're still leading. But guys, anything under 30 points to me, you're not safe. You're not safe. Because even for Max, he's leading by 13 points. Say if something happens, he doesn't finish the next race and Lewis wins. He's back down. He's back down by 12 points or something like that. So you're not safe. And we're leading by 7 points. We're not safe. So I'm worried, Babyface. Ferrari got this pace. I'm hoping we can hold strong, but we'll see. What you got, Babyface? What you think?
Well, Giovinazzi, back in qualifying, he made it into Q2. He has been racing for his seat.
Yeah, he's driving.
He's been doing well.
He's driving. I hope that kid retains his seat. He's driving.
Agreed. So, for the US Grand Prix, the start was thrilling. Because
first lap.
You could tell that Max was hoping to go down the straight because he wasn't pointing his car anywhere.
Right.
And then he recognized that was probably not the best idea because he cut across the track to try to cut off Lewis. And it didn't work, and Lewis ended up right by the first corner. After the first corner, he was able to lead. He had a fantastic start.
That's
Latifi and Stroll had some contact.
Yeah.
First lap and the opening lap. And straightened it out, but that cost Latifi and Stroll quite a bit because they flew all the way back. Latifi had some front wing damage. What was very exciting in the first 3 laps, Sainz, Rick, and Norris. All you saw was these 2 McLarens just hugging this one Ferrari.
Yeah.
And I mean, hats off to Sainz for keeping us cool, because imagine having 2 papaya cars hugging you.
2 what? What are they?
2 papaya cars. They're the color of papayas.
Yeah, there we go, guys. Let me know in the comments. Papaya cars, babyface.
You know, like you're always talking about, you don't want to see number 44, black car behind you.
Oh,
you know what?
I don't want to see no Merc in the rear view because they strategize, they sandbag and bluff.
I had a moment of all this tropical fruit around me. What is going on?
Yeah, anyway. we had it. There we have it.
Ocon pitted very early with a hard compound tire. He pitted in lap 4. And, I mean, all around for Ocon, it was a terrible, terrible race because he ended up having to retire by lap 42 for some mechanical issues. Red Bull and Max pulled the undercut. Lap 11, they pitted for the hard tires.
Which they could do.
They were able to do.
They had the advantage. They had the 2 cars out there, so yeah.
And that...
Yeah. Smart. I would have done it.
Yeah, that started a chain reaction of pit stops because lap 12... Rick and Sainz stopped. Lap 13, Perez stopped for a set of medium tyres. For those that remember, he had his lap time deleted during qualifying for exceeding track limits.
Yep.
So he had a set of medium tyres that had only been used for 1 flying lap. So that's what he ended up using. Lap 14, Hamilton responds to Verstappen and Perez's pit stop and goes to the hard tyres for a 2.8 second stop. Gasly, lap 15, you start seeing him falling down. He started 9th. No, sorry, he started 10th.
Right.
He started all of a sudden dropping back, had to retire. He was the first to retire with a suspension issue. Lap 16, Bottas stopped, 2.7 pit stop for some hard tyres. And then by lap 19, Bottas was back up into 9th. So it was quite a busy first set of laps. Then, lap 20, Bottas finally overtakes Tsunoda. Now, this is probably where we should stop. Tsunoda has been doing great at keeping very seasoned drivers behind him and keeping it clean. This time it was Bottas. A couple of races ago it was Hamilton.
Yeah.
He's had a couple of scraps with other really seasoned drivers. And he's been doing very well. What are your thoughts on Tsunoda?
I think he's doing well. He's a rookie. He's doing well. And I think he does a good job. And he keeps it clean. He's not an easy guy to pass. He knows where to park the car. And again, he keeps it clean. That's what I like. Before I forget, babyface and sidebar to all this, 2 things. One was Mercedes, their car setup. And the other was Mazepin. I have a feeling, guys, I've seen some things in qualifying and practicing. I just have a feeling he might get into something that changes the shape of the race for the leaders one day in the near future. Not sure when. I'm not sure it's gonna. I don't know if it's gonna happen or not, but I just feel like it could, because there's times when he gets blue flags and he does weird stuff, doesn't move. So I was happy I didn't see any incidents with him. The second thing, guys, and let me know if you're wrong. Let me know if I was wrong. But I noticed with your team, babyface, Mercedes was struggling with the setup this weekend. I think they had to raise Lewis's car overnight, and they didn't have the pace Red Bull had. Now they had it on a straight line, but everywhere else, they were struggling. So I gotta be honest with you, I was surprised Lewis even made it with that, cut the gap that short by the end, because guys, their car wasn't set up nowhere near, to me, as well as the Red Bulls. When I saw that starting grid, I'm like, I think Red Bull runs away with this race. I thought Lewis was going to get past, or Max was going to stay ahead and run away, because I just was like, when the setup's not right, your tire wear's not right, you're going to have to go in your bag and try to figure out things where Red Bull was smooth sailing. So I was surprised Hamilton caught up like he did. I really was. So that's my little...
So then, Lap 25. This was where we got to see some Alonso action.
Yeah,
so
this was good.
Alonso had a scrap with Raikkonen, and the two most seasoned drivers on the grid were having a back and forth, pushing each other off the grid, pushing each other off the track.
That was good.
So Alonso gets on the radio and he's like, he got unfair advantage. He rejoined the track and gained a position. I should get that back. It was a racing incident.
It was good. It was good.
But then Alonso gets into it with Giovinazzi, Alonso goes off the track, gains an advantage, and then has to give that place back to Giovinazzi. Okay, fine. But then Giovinazzi and Alonso get into it again, and then Giovinazzi has to give the place back to Alonso. So that was a bit comical, that back and forth between Alonso versus the two Alfa Romeos. Lap 28, we had a virtual safety car for just a couple of seconds because one of the marshals was picking up some debris off of the track.
He was.
Lap 30, Verstappen pitted again. 2.8 seconds for a hard compound
They thought he came in early, but I think they knew they had the advantage.
Hey, they played it right. I thought it was a bit too early, but clearly he won the race, so clearly the strategists at Red Bull were correct. Now, this is where you got a bit excited, because lap 30, Sainz pitted for some hard compound tyres.
Man, I
and
just
the
knew.
right rear
Slow.
was being a bit problematic, and he had a 5.6 second pit stop.
He did. Quite honestly, I'm going to be honest with you guys. Babyface, I'm going to be honest with you as well. I was hoping they wouldn't get the tire back on at all. Guys, we're in a battle with Ferrari. I mean, I don't got to say anymore. I was hoping, I was like, man, maybe that tire just doesn't go back on. But no, he got it back on, and they got it on, and yeah, he finished ahead of my guys, so yeah.
Hey, well, lap 31, Perez pitted for another set of medium tyres.
Yeah.
And then Danny Rick pitted for a set of hard compound tyres. That was 2.7 seconds. So that was a very, very solid pit stop. McLaren tried to do a double stack.
We did.
It was
We're not Mercedes, babyface. Just say it.
It was okay.
We're not Merc. I get it.
Norris, right after Rick leaves the pit, Norris comes in for a hard compound tyre, and that pit stop was 4.2. So the double stack, just not quite.
With these new pit rules, it is slow. If you've noticed, guys, babyface, and guys, let me know in the comments what you think. The pit stops, even for Red Bull, have slowed down with these new rules.
Yes, but you know what? I will admit, this race, most of the pit stops seem to have gone very smoothly. That none of the cars seem to have been held up longer in the pit stop. If they were slow, it was because either something was sticking or the pit stop in itself was slow.
But they have to wait for the all clear.
Yeah, but for the most part, most pit stops in this race were all really 2 somethings. You didn't have one pit stop a couple of races ago was 9 some seconds?
Guys, on average, the time for pit stops since this rule change, you don't see any sub 2 seconds from Red Bull anymore. In fact, I've seen a couple 2.6s, 2.4s. For Red Bull, it's slow. But I get it because it's about the safety. So I understand. We had a bad pit stop.
Yeah, but all I'm saying is that they seem to be getting their groove back, because it went from sub 2 seconds to 4-5 seconds to 3 seconds to now we're kind of back in the 2 and something seconds. Which makes it a bit more
I was hoping that double stack would work. I was hoping. I said if we can make it click, we're in there.
Well, it wasn't, honestly, had he come out even 2 seconds sooner, I think the finish would have still been the same.
Norris didn't have the pace today, I've noticed. It just, none of those Mercedes engine cars seem to do well, the best at this track. So,
So then, Bottas lap 35, pits 2.3 for hards. Hamilton follows that up with a 2.4 pit stop, lap 37. Then, as mentioned earlier, Ocon lap 42 retires because of mechanical issues.
Right.
Sainz had some contact.
He did. With Rick.
Danny Rick.
Mm-hmm.
And that resulted in him having some minor front wing damage, but not catastrophically. He was able to keep going. But
he was.
The contact wasn't, it was really just a racing incident. It was the rear tires that touched. But he ended up being able to finish anyways. Lap 51, Alonso had to retire.
Yeah, both Alpines.
Both Alpines out. It was a terrible race for the Alpines.
It was, and Gasly was out as well. Don't forget about Gasly.
Yeah,
he retired early on.
Gasly retired
the first one.
Lap 15.
First one.
And then the last thing that we had that happened was lap 53. Kimi went off the track a little bit onto the gravel.
Yeah.
And then with Hamilton and Verstappen, they overtook Mick Schumacher's Haas, and it literally came down to the last 2 laps. I mean, they already had suspected that it would be the last 3 laps that this race would boil down to. Honestly, had Hamilton had probably an extra 2 laps, I think he would have caught him, but Verstappen took it over the finish line, followed by Hamilton. It was very close. I will admit, like I told you when we were watching the race, this is the first race that I sincerely feel that Red Bull had the second driver where they needed him to be.
Yep.
Because Perez started 3rd. He was running out there by himself for a good while.
They had time to play. It gives you options. It gives you where Mercedes, and you know this, babyface. When you have 2 drivers out there in the top 3, you can, and the other team has 1. You can play with options, whereas the other team has to say, we have to get it precise, everything, and it can't be. There's no room for error, and hope it comes down to the last 3 laps. On a car that was quicker than you all through qualifying and all through, So yeah, to your point, yeah.
So yeah, this was Perez is finally where Red Bull was all alone hoping that he would be. This was a race that Bottas would have been crucial to be at the front, but because he took that 5th place grid penalty for the upgrade that he received, I think this is going to be the next 6 races. It's going to be a team effort. I mean, it's always been a team effort, but what I mean by team effort is that both drivers need to be in tune of what needs to happen, and they need to be positioned just right. The tables have also turned, because we're used to seeing, for the past season and a half, Verstappen racing out there by himself, sandwiched in between 2 Mercedes. This was the first time, well, really the second time, that we see a Mercedes sandwiched in between 2 Red Bulls. So the tables do have turned, so we'll have to see if Bottas can come up for the next 6 races, because he's definitely needed.
I'm going to tell you, with all the penalties out of the way, I think, like you said, it's going to be a team effort. I think this sprint race coming up is going to play an important part with the points, because I think Lewis got fastest lap, so he pulled a point back, right? But I think if Bottas, as quiet as it's kept, I have no doubt in my mind he's going to be running up there with Lewis, and they're going to need him, because to me, all season long, for the first time since the 2019 season, Mercedes is not the quicker car. Red Bull, to me, guys, correct me if I'm wrong, that car has been masterclass above the... Mercedes has had a good car, but they seem to be playing catch-up the whole season, like everyone else. Red Bull has just, okay, you're almost there, we're going to raise it a little more. So to me, they have flat out the quickest car. Not only the quickest car, but when it comes to the cornering, they're unmatched. And Mercedes is always adjusting. So I think what's going to come down to it is as you said, the team effort. This sprint race is going to be important, and I think now the penalties are out the way. This is what F1 wanted. Guys, let us know in the comments what you think. This is what everyone wanted. It's not boring. Max is up by 13 with 6 races to go. This is what everyone wanted. So my prediction, it comes down to the last 1 or 2 races. That's if Bottas and Perez don't intermingle. But if Bottas plays his part and we see Bottas go all out, I think Merc can win. I do. Because to me, Perez is a little too inconsistent when it comes to running up front. So we'll see. Guys, let us know in the comments what you thought about this race. Was it exciting? Did you like it, babyface?
Yes. Actually, this is how you know. This is, to me, one of the clear-cut indicators that Formula One has become exciting all around. Because I remember you and I were watching the screen because something was happening in the front and something happened in the mid-pack. I think it was Bottas overtaking Sainz, or something happened in the mid-pack. And it was like the TV couldn't catch up to what was happening at the same time,
They
all
could've,
at,
yeah.
you know, on the track, because you had something happening in the front. Everybody, of course, is looking
Yeah.
at Verstappen and Hamilton and how are they going? How's the race gonna win? And you had McLaren and Ferrari smack dab in the middle. You had Tsunoda in there being that little wild card of can you pass him? Can you not pass him? You had Bottas in there. Then you have stuff happening in the back with Vettel, Ocon, Alonso. I mean, there was so much going on that track. It's probably one of those races that I will go back and rewatch to make sure I didn't miss anything.
Yeah, it was a lot. It
But
was a lot.
definitely very, very exciting.
It was a lot. And Babyface, to all my McLaren fans, we're only ahead by 3.5 points. Babyface, after this race, it's official. 254 to their 250 and a half. All my McLaren guys, we got, I don't know how we go. Babyface, I don't know. I'm a little. We need Danny Rick to run like we need him to run. Need him to do his thing. The same with Norris. So, I don't know, guys. It was a good race. My McLaren boys tried their best. I think they're going to come back over the next 6 races. And I think we'll try our best. But we'll see. Let us know in the comments, guys, what you think. Please like, share, and subscribe. Any final thoughts, Babyface? Anything?
None. I'm excited for the next one.
Me too. Guys, thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.
Bye!